Oh god, I can see it. Huh? Why is... Oh god. This planet is small. I hope the angle is right. I can't see it. Ah. Oh god, no.
Frameshift drive charging.
That's not right.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Oh no, I didn't see it. It's on the other side. Oh god, no. Ah. That was terrible. Hello, I can't hear you. Now I can.
Oh, that's all right. That's something. Is that better?
Yes.
As long as people can hear me, that's the main thing. It's really an art in itself, actually getting the sound right for these things, because people have different equipment and different levels. Obviously, different headphones, and makes a big difference.
Yep.
Right. think we're a bit early. Wait for a few more people to join.
Some are already down.
No, I mean here in the chat, I can see all the ships on the ground, but it's under little crate in the corner. But the crate's not a small ship just compared to all the others. It's really small.
My ship is small.
Which one are you, Doctor?
Keelback.
Yeah, that is pretty small, isn't it? Well, it's a nice ship though. I mean, I don't know about long-term exploration, but for this kind of trip, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yep.
Landing gear deployed.
Good evening, everyone who's just joined.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is always the way. Once one person joins, everyone else wants to join in. It's always good, though. Right.
Hello, everyone.
Go.
It's always slightly confusing with this whole sort of European summertime and changing of the clocks and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I think didn't the European Union put some kind of proposal forward recently that everyone just stays on the same time and just doesn't change, because that makes it a lot easier.
No, it's...
Yeah, they did.
Something
I
like
think
that, anyway.
they said that every country can decide for themselves, so that would make it much more complicated, actually.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
hope is that people would agree to stick to the same one, hopefully, because, I mean, it shouldn't make that much of a difference if everyone's stuck to Central European time, probably, you know? You'd hope. It's everyone in Europe anyway. In North America wouldn't make any sense, but yeah.
So everybody going down in SRVs, or are you just staying? Where we
I think
are.
SRVs are a good thing. I'm not getting out in mine just yet because we've got a little while before we start, but you can use your SRV, whenever you want. It's entirely up to you. I would recommend not killing too many of them and like getting rid of all of your SRVs a bit too early. 'Cause
No,
you
I
might need
only
them
have
for
one,
later.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, be careful with it.
Yeah.
I mean, having said that, we probably mentioned it last week that we're not that far from Colonia, so if anyone ever needs to go back and
Yeah,
get more
it's
SRVs,
not
it's
that
not
big of a
hard.
problem, but yeah.
Yeah.
Last
It's still- that's
waypoint
still-
has geysers, or?
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's in that crater. It's this lovely sort of view when you get all the clouds rising.
Does the last
Sadly, it's rather dark.
waypoint have geysers?
I think it does. I'll have to double check that in my records, but they're always good for meetups, I think, because people just like them, and the things you can do with them.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed there are quite a few in the sort of Colonia region, and it's quite easy to find them. So I mean, really nice ones, not just any old ones.
Ah, what's actually going on?
Good evening.
Good evening, Falcon.
Evening.
How are
Hello.
you all?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Hey, Chang.
Hey, Jake. Yeah, I mean, this evening, I am thinking very seriously about us. Is that an SRV flying up there I can see in the distance? It could well be, but anyway, that's not what I was thinking. About an SRV race around the edge of the crater would be quite fun. The only problem is part of the crater's in darkness, so that could make it more interesting, though. If you've got a lot of lights on, but having said that, you know, maybe that makes it even better because, you know, Destruction Derby? Maybe not, but not this early.
Darkness, not really. It's not really dark.
No, it's not properly dark, but it's darker than over here in the light, so yeah, it's not too bad. It's always funny when you see an SRV sort of come flying up from beneath your level, and all of a sudden it's sort of overtaking you and going higher.
How's that view in the crate?
Pretty good actually. I mean, the crate's got a very similar sort of view, yeah, in terms of overall view to the Asp Explorer. It's not obviously exactly the same, but it's you've got these sort of huge sort of pillars to your top left and top right, but looking down, your visibility is probably about very similar to an Asp Explorer. So for an exploration ship in that way, it's quite good. It just doesn't really have the range of an Asp. So yeah, it's. I think a lot of people will end up taking these on distant worlds purely because it's got the fighter bay, and yeah. Having said that, a lot of people will take fighters in Anacondas, and you can always multi-crew into those. So depends what you fancy, really. And in all honesty, I haven't actually decided which of these I'm going to take because the whole point of taking the crate today was to test it to see how much I liked it for exploration, really.
And how much do you like it for exploration?
It's hard. It's a hard decision, to be honest with you, because the advantage is obviously bringing the fighter, and it is nice to fly around. But then in the Asp is even nicer to fly around. So put it this way. I mean, at the moment, I'm going to say it's about 50-50 whether I take this or the Asp. I mean, the Asp is so much nicer just to fly around for the long term. But yeah, I don't know. Also, I can bring more SRVs with this, so I'm undecided at the moment. We've got about a couple of months anyway. I think it's mid-January until Distant Worlds launches, so we've got time. How many of you guys are looking to go on Distant Worlds too?
I am.
Me?
Already signed
Oh
up.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I thought it might be most people.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a very long time, even from when it was first announced or rumoured it was going to happen. But that's the thing, isn't it? Now that we've got Q4 coming up, it's going to be a real thing. And mid-January, I think, is the ETA for that one. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, the good thing about Distant Worlds, obviously, there's so many people going that it's going to be a very social thing. Even some people, obviously, who aren't really that big fans of exploration are signing up because they can see it's going to be fun, you know. Excellent. Dr. Nuggy is streaming today. Thank you.
Oh god, 14 FPS. God.
They definitely need to improve the networking in this game, don't they?
It's not the networking, I have to run it via the processor today.
Oh, okay.
My GPU's HDMI failed and I don't have a DVI screen display port.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Otherwise I'd be running at ultra 60 FPS.
Who's got the golden SRV? That's quite striking.
Oh, golden?
Well, it looks golden from here anyway. It's sort of a metallic-looking colour. It might not actually be
got
golden.
I've got a chrome one.
Oh, that's probably it. It just looks golden from this angle.
Yeah, it could be because of the light.
Yeah, exactly.
God. 5 FPS in the external camera.
Howdy.
God, it's a slideshow.
Oh, Spaghetti says that his one is gold, so...
By the way, everyone turn off SRV lights. That greatly improves the FPS.
Yeah, I think if we have a crater race, then it won't be so bad because there'll only be the SRVs in sight anyway, because the ships will probably be out of sight. That's the theory anyway. It'd be quite funny going through the dark there without the lights on. We'll find out quite soon how that'll work.
Shit. Oh god.
Yeah, the frame rate's pretty low for some of these SRVs.
I can't even play it 1 FPS right now.
Yeah, it is pretty jerky frame rate.
I should have bought a better processor.
The SRVs I'm seeing as they disappear are doing about 1 frame a second, so...
Oh god, Steam just almost
Alright.
crashed.
And I'm back. We're all live. Everybody
Hello,
else
Jack.
can
Live and
hear you.
direct.
So, or anybody who's going to be watching this later can hear you now.
Well, hello to everyone who watches this either now or later on. Hope you're having a great evening, or day, or morning, wherever it is where you are.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. for me. So.
Okay. Well, have a good morning. Yeah.
4 a.m. doing an expedition stream show. Yeah, that's pretty normal for me.
Chassis repaired.
There we go.
Um,
Oh god.
this is our second time. The first was definitely just pretty much chaos and everybody talking all at once, and it was fun. It was
Yeah.
good. But since we're here and since we're now a week in,
Bloody hell.
do you mind if I ask you, Yannick? I don't want to do a talk show, but I want to ask you personally, like, what motivated you to start an expedition?
Well, this particular one, I think I might have mentioned it last week, but I was actually at the Senator speaking about 2-3 weeks ago, and I was just thinking, this is a wonderful view. This is amazing. This is one of the best things the game has to offer. Then I was just thinking about my exploration and expeditions generally, and thinking that, well, distant worlds, we don't really know when it's going to launch, so why in the hell not? Yeah, why not do this? Because it was never going to be a long
It's pretty
expedition.
quick, with a lot of access to, Colonia's right there. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I wanted to get out of the way. I didn't want to
That's cool.
I don't want to interview. I don't want to do that. I did that.
Yeah.
I was the substitute co-host for 6 months.
That's fine.
But yeah, all right. So I mean, obviously that's the reason I'm out here is just because I don't know when DW2 is going to start, and I cannot stay in the bubble. It was driving me nuts after 3 months or 3 weeks.
We said mid-January.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it.
what I've heard now. Everyone's saying like somewhere between like the 10th and 20th or something like that.
Yeah, I've made a new forum thread. It's a sticky exploration subforum.
That's the one.
But
you're right.
they didn't announce the waypoints yet.
No, I think they're deliberately keeping most of them till quite near the time, which is understandable because they don't want everyone sort of going massively far ahead. So yeah, I think the first Distant Worlds was a bit like that as well, with it being sort of announced a bit at a time, waypoint by waypoint where they were going to be next.
Chink, are you in your cockpit view?
I am in my cockpit view.
Okay,
I can
stay like that.
zoom around.
Okay.
Oh,
Mature
geez,
audiences.
Oh! You don't get stuck. Because you don't have jets to flip yourself over.
No, it works.
Alright. That was interesting, just seeing these green wheels roll over the front of my screen.
Oh god.
This is There are quite a few SRVs running around. You guys be careful with those. damage just grows exponentially the more SRVs
I've
are
already
activated.
used the standard repair.
Yeah.
Do we have a casualty?
No, not
No.
yet. I haven't heard any pops, so. I really need to hook my controller up to my camera view. It's really a mess
Yeah.
trying to use the keyboard. Is that? Who's in the Type 6? Oh, you're my hero.
The keelback.
Oh, it's cute. Okay, well, it's close enough. Oh yeah, that was my first Explorer, and I love seeing it out.
Yeah, I think quite a few people started with sort of Type 6s or similar, because it is actually a pretty cheap Explorer. I think having said that, things like the DBX and
Yeah, it's
the Scout did as well though.
I think there's the DBX and the Type 6. They're both around. You know, you can get a decent setup for under 10 million. You know. In fact, I think I rebuilt mine, and it was only like 6.5 or something. So, but I mean, if you're just starting and you really got to get out there, what is there?
Yeah.
I think I started in a hauler.
Me
You
too.
can try to build a
actually,
hauler. Yeah,
that was my first exploration
build a
ship. Was
hauler.
actually a hauler. Basically, I set out with a hauler and a basic discovery scan. I couldn't even afford the advanced one, and just thought, "What the hell? I'm gonna go," you know.
When those days, Robigo was really out in the wilds.
This was actually, I think this was even pre-Robigo even being a system at this point. This was like just after the game had been released, like a couple of months in that I started to do them. So at that point, there was no DBX or anything. You say you had a hauler, you had a Type 6, and that was pretty much it for the sort of bargain basement part of exploration.
So I'm getting the sense that obviously a lot of people are interested in DW2, if not already signed up. This is not anybody's first rodeo, is it? As far as explorations or expeditions go.
No.
So I'm just asking. Like,
Yeah,
my first official expedition was Dead Ends, and that's
a long one to start with.
that's a hell of an expedition to start with. Yes.
I was going to say the longest expedition probably ever in the game, and that was your first one. I assume you've been doing stuff by yourself for a long time by that point. Otherwise, you'd have gone
With this
mad by
account, with this account,
I mean,
it's my first one right here.
now. Okay.
We had the waypoints, and people did occasionally meet at waypoints together, and then we had the base camps at like 14,000 light years every 2 weeks. So, and those were always pretty good meetups.
That's cool. Yeah, I know a few people on that, so yeah, they sound like they had a good one, but it's just such a really, really long expedition.
Yeah, with this
still
account,
trying
it's
to
my
think.
first expedition, but overall it's my second official expedition.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do after this. I do plan on going to Sagittarius and Great Annihilator
You can visit
before-
Tanker.
before I return, but it's like even that, I got to get through November and December with something to do that's not sitting in the bubble.
Oh, there's always something you can do. This is the thing, isn't it? It's the whole galaxy out there. There's always stuff to see.
Yeah, there's a few new expeditions popping up actually. For
This is it,
example, Christmas Carriers Convoy 3.
Yeah, I'm managing that.
Oh yeah, so
Oh.
no, that's cool. Yeah.
What's Christmas Carriers?
Well, you take something from the bubble and you ship it out to Colonia, basically.
In a convoy.
Expedition style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was
it's
fun.
but
That would
you're
be
not
3
like,
trips, wouldn't it?
You're not setting ship restrictions like the Saud Kruger or the only Lakon cargo ships or anything
No.
like that. It's just whatever you want to carry.
Yeah.
All right.
But that means going back to the bubble, coming out here, and then going back again for DW2, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the only thing that I was thinking about Christmas Carriers is that you've got to do all these runs to Colonia and back again. I mean, yeah, you can always suicide wander, I suppose, but you know, it depends what
Someone
you want to do.
vanished.
That sounded like quite a big bang.
That's probably me.
Okay.
Yeah, my condo's gone. Elite must have crashed.
Hmm.
In the background.
Oh,
Or
no,
is it
somebody
not?
said,
So,
you just crashed out. What is that? One of the
Yeah.
anacondas?
gone, conda gone. Yeah, it's gone now.
I wasn't
And
watching
out.
the screen. So
No, no, I'm looking at the Discord chat at the moment.
I'm
What
zoomed
the-
out to try to give something interesting to look at during the stream and everything, but you can tell,
Actually-
not very energetic at 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's understandable.
Bloody hell.
I'll share my tweet picture actually. It might be the best move because yeah, you'll see in a second.
There we go. Hmm. Well,
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, it's one of the DVXs, isn't it? Zooming around.
So you guys excited for the beta?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this is the most important beta probably ever. Yeah, in this game, at least as far as exploration is concerned. Anyway, I think because it's got the biggest sort of, at least in theory, the biggest leap or the biggest progression. But we'll soon find out. You know, one way or the other, we'll soon find out.
What's the first thing you are going to do?
And probably check out the probes. If I'm honest, 'cause that's one of the
On
biggest
completely
things.
unknown systems or systems that have already been discovered, so you can.
Probably that as a comparison, exactly.
Yeah.
So that we kind of know what the differences are. So
Mm.
yeah, it's probably best to start with the system that is already discovered.
And it is open, so it's not just locked to
Yeah,
it's not just locked to people who have the universal key for forever for
yeah.
early investment and everything.
There was
in the game.
also a beta pass as well that people could get, and that for a while it was only say the lifetime expansion and the beta license people who
Yeah.
got to do it. But now, as you say, it's an open one; anyone can take part.
And so I'm excited about it because it's also, I think everyone who's done the beta from the from the lifetime passes, they're always like, the ships are all set to like a month before, which means I'll be back in my Orca out on the DECE path.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah,
it always
Skull and
has. I mean,
Crossbones.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
been a month, but sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes I think at the last major beta they actually pulled everyone back to the bubble in certain starter systems, so it wasn't actually the same anymore. I know what you mean. Most of the betas previously have been where you were a month before, but
Yeah.
you know it's not guaranteed. We don't know which one they're going to
Ah.
be using. I mean, if they start us in the bubble, that's going to be annoying for anyone who wants to test deep space exploration, like in Colonia. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
you have to get
Because
out
I'm-
a couple
I'm-
of
I'm
thousand
really-
light years first.
I'm hoping that they do the setup like using your own stats from a month before, because
That
that
would
way we can actually see how they will implement things for people who are already out there, and just having those new modules and things just activated somehow. You know.
Yeah, I could understand from the the engineers release, it made sense to have everyone in the bubble close to the engineers, but for an exploring release, it shouldn't really matter where you are.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Anyway, I'll be back in just 2 minutes, everyone.
Also, I'm very curious about the scenarios, but I think they come 1 week later, or? The new BGS type scenarios?
It's in weekly segments, the beta.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think first is the exploration stuff, then the BGS, then new ships, and then over.
Yeah. Is mining and BGS in the same week?
Not sure.
I think it's
You know,
in the second week.
I had to pop out to see. Obviously, I know Nagi's voice. I've talked with him a lot. That was I know, and I know Yannick's voice. So that was Helium talking just now.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. All right.
The bad quality.
No. It's got that classic '80s space radio effect going. It's great.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, as annoying as the in-game audio is, I kind of like it because it gives that little fuzz and little beep beep, the
Yeah.
squeal. The lunar landing space radio kind of thing.
Mm.
So, how's everyone doing? And has anybody been up to anything special over this past week? Found anything interesting? Well, let's start with how everybody's doing. I'm doing pretty good myself. And
Me
I know
too.
Falcon saw my last stream where,
Yeah, it was very,
excuse
very
me.
funny and very entertaining.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
really cool. You found was it geysers or was it volcanoes?
Yeah, I was doing two things. I was explaining how I find stuff like
Yeah.
giants or supergiants in just by looking at the sky and then being able to spot them on the map from that. But then most of it was actually looking for geysers while heading towards a herb system.
Thank you for that picture. So background simulations and new scenario. Oh, that's actually first week. Nice. So we can test that right away when we are in the bubble. Because that looked really interesting, giving you a choice to protect or attack a megaship, for example.
So, sounds like everyone's doing all right, and obviously, most people have actually made it from the start to here already. So, everyone's on schedule. You know.
Well, I noticed in the participants list, 6 people have actually finished already.
Wow.
And that wouldn't be hard.
Going back to what
Yes.
you were saying before, Yannick, about not announcing
Not-
waypoints until you've just met at one.
Just
I'm actually
Nagi knows my
surprised.
history. I could have done this expedition in about 12 hours.
Yeah,
Well, exactly.
that's not hard. I'm actually surprised how well this jump range works. Like 38 light years doesn't sound like much, but it actually works pretty good.
I think for a longer expedition, I'd actually obviously play the cards a lot closer to my chest about it. This is a short one, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the landing sites also announced obviously a week in advance. But, you know, beyond that,
But the overall
It-
distance I went in the first week was much more than distance between waypoints. Much more than that.
yeah. I was going to say that's most people, isn't it? I think most people have actually gone a little bit out their way. Well, just anything that's interesting, really, isn't it? Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's so
well,
slow
I mean,
at the moment.
I think I've already talked about it. And everybody says it's already pretty much totally explored, but I still want to go look at the nebula south, but then south of us, but north of where Colonia is,
Mhm.
just to look around. So
Yeah,
I'll be
why
doing
not?
that. Yeah, I'll be doing that after this, and then heading back in towards the final waypoint. You know.
Yeah, I got that
So-
nice black hole with a nebula in the background. That was really cool. And
Oh.
was unexplored. So there are still jewels out there to find.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
But this is the good thing about the sort of near Colonia area, is that you go, 100 light years outside of Colonia, and all of a sudden you do have quite a lot of the stuff apart from the big nebula and a few other sorts of
Can't hear them at the moment.
planetary nebula
Stand by.
are actually still there for the taking. The game is working really slow for me at the moment. I know a few other people have said that you've got about 1 frame a second on the SRVs.
No, I'm just sitting here on the camera mode, not
Wait,
doing
what?
anything.
Hmm.
Fucking fine.
Yeah, I have a horrible feeling my game may have actually frozen on me. Well, I just tried to deploy the SRV and it may have crashed. I'll give it another minute to see what happens. Okay. And I am absolutely correct, it has just crashed on me. But I will try and get back. Yeah, at least it hasn't done that quite as inconvenient as it did last week. It's not quite that bad.
Oh god.
Okay, another one.
God, it's so hard to look through the GAL map at all this density. It gives me a headache.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, where the bubble is, the star density is not that great. I mean, when you start sort of moving inwards, even Colonia, the density is actually reasonably high. When you get into the center of the galaxy, it's maddeningly high. Okay.
Oh, my game is struggling to calculate distances and tell me information on the GAL map.
Right.
Oh, 1,700 light, 1,800 light years. That's not too bad. I could get it out there. I'm looking over at Aginart.
Yeah.
I know it's a ways out of the way, but just
Okay. I'm gonna start in a second anyway because it's going to take me something to get back into the game. I might as well just get on with it, and then we'll see in a second.
Quick.
Are most people in their SRVs at the moment, or because I say my
am.
game has crashed, so I can't actually tell.
There are some, but not all of us. Quick
I'm
questions for
staying in my
the
ship.
CCN guys here. Did we already take over tier, or is that still in progress?
It's in progress. It takes another 24 hours.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just that. But it's all the fun of the BGS.
Good evening. Can you all hear me?
Hey,
Hi,
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Awesome to see you.
Finally made it. How are you all doing?
Oh, pretty well.
Fine, and
thanks.
you?
Yourself?
Good. Yes. Rather busy with real life at the moment. I've hardly been on this game, which is not
Shocking,
like me at all.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely sure.
Definitely not like me.
For those of you who don't know Tony, he is a hardcore and very highly ranked fuel rat, and yeah, he's been on many of these expeditions, and he's a great traveling companion and always great fun.
Oh, thank you very much.
No worries, yeah. Good timing as well, because I'm about to start anyway. So, right.
Sweet. I've rushed home.
Excellent. Right, okay. The Commander EOD is also 6 jumps away, which is fine. But that's the thing. By the sounds of it, the game isn't in the best shape. Most people are having problems, just with frame rates or many other things. So it looks like it's just going to be one of those evenings.
There's nothing new there, then, is there?
No, nothing whatsoever. I think I was just saying just before you came about, what we're expecting from the Q4 updates and things. And one of them is, unsurprisingly, better networking, please.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. Yeah. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the second waypoint of the Lightning Strike expedition. Glad you could all make it. By the sounds of it, you've had pretty good weeks, and hopefully there's a great, if not even a spectacular discovery, at least something of interest that you've all found. I know a few of you have found some volcanism here and there, which is always a great thing to look out for. But here, in this sort of little crater, I think we're going to have an SRV race as soon as we possibly can, so we can actually get everyone's SRVs and everyone to work in the same instance and what have you. But to start with, I'm going to very briefly talk about something that is both quite amazing and terribly tragic at the same time. Now, this is going back a few years to 1971, when the USSR had actually just built the first space station of Salyut 1. Now, the first the first crew docked to that was Soyuz 11. Now, some of you may know this one already, but obviously after their great triumph and having been the first crew to ever be in a space station, they are basically the only casualties in the history of space exploration to ever die in the void of space. Now, if you consider that so many other spacecraft have run into trouble over the years but have not actually perished in the void of space, it's actually quite remarkable. But the whole sort of flight really is sort of sort of bittersweet. But obviously the tragedy is that they never made it back alive, but they could well have done. And it was basically, by the sounds of it, not actually paying attention to advice they were given to actually manually shut the air vents as they were leaving the said space station, and the atmosphere left their spacecraft, and unfortunately they all died on the descent before they even hit the atmosphere. But this is always the risk of space, as I sort of alluded to last week, sort of with Apollo 12. But that was one of the times that obviously people did survive, and it was all good. But if you consider the risks of just test piloting are pretty high, then you just add the factor of speed and lack of oxygen and all the various other risk factors in space. It is genuinely a lucky thing that not more people have actually bought it in that regard. But it's if you want to know any more about the very much triumph and tragedy, as I would say, of Soyuz 11, I will leave little links in the chat, and I will pin those
That's
as well.
great.
If chat will actually work for me. Oh, that's better. I thought it was second that it wasn't going to work, and I thought, oh god, no, Discord, please don't fail me at this hour. Yeah, but there you have it. Right, okay. Those of you who are already out in the crater or nearby, if you can sort of try and find your way to meeting up with each other in the light element of the light part of it, that would be cool, because I say I'm trying to get back into the game at the moment, and if I can't get back in quickly, I'll just get somebody else to sort of, organise you and fire the starting gun. But a race around the crater I think would be quite a good idea, because I like the fact that it's in light and dark and it looks good.
Low gravity warning.
Has anyone not got an SRV actually? This is a good question.
Yeah, me.
Ah, okay. Well, you've actually volunteered yourself maybe to be the starter in 5 or so minutes. Then it may have to be you, Falcon. Do you have a fighter on board?
No, I'm sitting in a Python.
Okay.
But
That's
not at the
unfortunate, 'cause the fighter could have...
Not at the waypoint.
Okay. Right. Okay, I think the game might be actually going into silence for a second with me. Actually, bear with me a moment. I'm going to switch. Hold on.
Ouch.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 SRVs. I'm not out in mine. I'm following behind in a camera. So
Right. Can everyone hear me now?
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
I can hear you.
Good. Good, excellent. I switched to my phone instead because I want to leave my computer alone just to load up. I've got an old laptop basically, so it's not the most sophisticated of things. It takes too long to load up the main version of the game. Embarrassingly long, to be honest. But we all cross our fingers and hope the game doesn't crash on us. But yeah, I'm hoping for stability fixes as well in this, because another thing I've heard from the streams and other sources about the Q4 update is there's supposed to be literally thousands of bug fixes, which is good. I just hope most of them actually work. Obviously, this is what the upcoming beta test is going to be all about, and it could be very interesting. But I have a suspicion that this is going to go on for longer than the 4 weeks as they plan. If you literally got thousands of potential bug fixes, that might actually last quite a while,
Oh god, not screen black.
Imagine the mission board acting up with the new servers for them.
Oh wow.
There is gonna be something that will be way out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it's almost inevitable that's going to happen, isn't it?
Oh god.
Oh, my friends already started to drop, but I will try it anyway. Which direction are we going? Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Let's try and go counterclockwise to start with.
Also, if you're in your SRV, the far side of the rim is 2.5 kilometers. So ships will take off, so it might be a good idea to slowly start sending ships away right now, so they don't all try to take off at the same time and nothing.
That is
runs
a
into
good point,
anything else.
actually. Yeah, no, that's a very valid point. I hadn't actually measured the distance across the crater, but no, that's a very good observation. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think the alternative is actually park your ship at the center of the crater. That's not always going to be likely, though, is it? We can fit all the ships together at the center of those. But probably a few, but so you've got an option really: park your ship at the middle of the crater or send it away. It might improve the frame rate potentially if we send a bunch of them away.
Sending them off usually helps with frame rates too for people, because it means
Yeah,
that there's not as much being
Yeah.
rendered with all the ship polygons and everything.
In theory, anyway. As we know, in reality, it doesn't always make a difference, but in theory, it should.
Let's hope it comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You're right there, Helium.
Updating my drivers didn't help my GPU.
Okay.
And playing at 1 FPS will be hell. So, I'm out. I'll watch the
Okay.
streams, but can't with you.
Okay. Tony, are you in game at the moment?
Yes, I'm in game.
Okay. Are you in the system at the moment?
Yes, I'm actually landed and I'm in my SRV.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay. Right. Guys, if you can find your way to Hello Tony 2 as a sort of your reference point, and Tony, if you could park yourself sort of somewhere near the rim of the crater, but maybe in the light side so everyone can see you.
Yeah, I've been really bouncing
okay.
up and down now.
Yeah. So if everyone uses Hello Tony as a sort of reference point, and then you sort of all line up for the start, that would be cool. As James also advised, it might be a good idea to send your ships away so that we don't have this sort of a chaotic thing.
And
But, you know, it
turn
probably will be
off your
chaotic anyway.
lights.
Yeah.
I am still parked in my ship. I'm not driving around. I'm just
Okay, that's
doing,
fine.
Follow camera, stream, and everything.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
So
that's fine.
I could.
Some of you
get
sound
closer-
compulsory, so you know.
I could get closer to the edge, so I'm more visible. Let me see.
Totally up to you if you want to do that. That's absolutely fine. It's quite funny on my phone. I have a much better view of everyone's little pictures as well. It's quite cool.
I think we
that's
got a
about as
line.
close to the. I think that's about as close to the edge as I can get.
Okay, fair enough.
This T10 with its 4 pads doesn't. The landing options are very limited.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Basically, so someone's described it as a flying warehouse recently. Like, it kind of is, isn't it? That and the T9 are basically, yeah, they are warehouses with engines.
Okay, I think we got a line. So now we just need a countdown.
Okay, excellent.
Just before we go, if you don't mind, how many laps are we doing?
1, I think,
Right.
is enough.
One, okay.
Let's try for one, and then after we finish one, we'll see how long it takes us, and then try for more afterwards. But is there any sort of boulder or spacecraft nearby that we can mark the start-finish line? Because otherwise, it's going to be hard to know.
Well,
That,
people could
Quite
back
clean.
up about. What is
Yeah,
that?
just go to the T10.
Yeah, that's probably a good place for start-finish, isn't it? Use the C10 as a sort of marker if you can. My game's still loading up at the moment, unfortunately, so I can't really see this for myself.
Sorry.
Actually, this is
Oh my
one of the
god,
good
it's
things that-
lagging.
Has anything just happened? It's quite surreal because at the moment I don't have any of the game noises, I just have you guys. Because you can tell something even by the noises of what's going on. But, you know, at the moment I don't even have that.
At the
Could watch
moment,
the stream.
we are relining up by the Type 10 at the moment. Getting into the line again.
Everyone's got a good line there.
Right, okay. Is everyone ready to roll?
Yeah, I believe I am.
I think so.
Okay. Bear with me a second. See, I can actually operate this all at the same time. Right, okay. Yeah, I can operate voice and text.
Start recording.
I missed
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't really know who's driving what, so all I'll be able to tell is what color SRV drives in front of me.
Not to worry, we'll work it out as we go along. There's no perfect way of measuring
Yeah.
these races anyway, just who reckon who won, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a small suggestion: so you might go to your inventory and already select SRV repair, because when you are on the way, it's difficult to on the right hand side.
Yeah. If you want to do any repairs, now is a good time. That's always good advice.
Not only that, but when you drive as well, you know, because then you're looking for it, and then you're already dead because it's already damaged or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you'll I mean, you're just with this many SRVs in an instance, you're gonna take damage just by landing and bouncing around. So
Actually, how many SRVs are there in the instance at the moment?
there are 7 in front
That's
of me
not-
right now.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah.
That's usually about the edge limit that we had when we were driving around. Is we'd have maybe 7 or 8, 1 starter SRV, and then 7 racers. But
It really does depend, I think, on the situation.
I think Henka put in more bug requests to have SRVs repaired than the entire community of Elite in the past year. Because that guy lost an SRV pretty much at least once a month.
Oh, let's start. I say.
Okay. Yep, no worries. Okay, everyone's ready to go then. I'll do the countdown. You're off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Oh, we've already got rambing going on.
Excellent.
What do you mean? I'm just going straight.
Oh, nice recovery there. Whoever just flew up.
That was me.
Chassis integrity compromised.
Somebody's in lead, but they're going way outside the rim of the track.
Yeah, that was me. I lost. I was flying. Oh, now I'm spinning.
It's
Oh
like we should
god,
do an SRV
it's
in low
difficult
gravity.
with my FPS.
Oh, looks like we got green SRV is taking the lead.
Ah,
Oh yeah,
damn
baby.
that rock.
Uh-oh.
Anybody
Somebody's-
watching my stream now knows what I'm talking about.
Somebody's driving inside the ground.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Oof, oof. See if I can catch up. Oh,
Can't see anything. What is happening?
oh, that was a rough tumble there for second place.
Yep.
Someone's right in front of me.
Trying
I
so
think
hard to
Husky
do
is
this
in
with-
lead.
Yeah, I
Trying
am.
so hard to do this with KB.
But I just
with
turned.
keyboard.
but I recovered quickly.
And first and second just hit halfway. You're only halfway through, guys. You got that big hill to cross now.
Oh god, this is so bad.
It's low gravity, isn't it?
It's my frames!
This is the thing, isn't it, about low gravity SRV racing? No grip. or very
Also
little.
racing at a geyser site with all the particle
No!
effects and the smoke.
Yeah.
I
I don't
catch
think
you.
we've ever actually done that before, have we? I don't think we've ever actually raced probably
we
around a
haven't.
crater with geysers in it. Yeah, exactly. I think it's always been we've raced around craters, we raced near geysers, but we've never actually done them both. Okay. Right, I'll try and get back into my main Discord.
Oh, to the roll. And no well.
First place just took a big tumble as he was flying over the mountain.
I'm getting sick.
Oh, Green's catching up. Green's is he? Oh, this is good. Oh,
He
he's
took
gonna
the wrong
pass him.
exit.
He's gonna pass him. He's gonna pass him.
Oh, come on!
It's coming. It's coming. Oh, he's. Oh, it's. Oh, this is. You guys can't see this, but you are literally just like 20 meters apart.
Oh no!
Oh, there he goes. He
Oh,
takes the
that's
lead.
not what I didn't want to do.
That was nice SRV flying.
I'm gonna land on the T10.
As he flies over me, we're gonna call it.
Woohoo!
We got
Oh,
Green.
yeah. Bam!
And
I'm gonna land on you, I think.
What
Sorry.
is this? Gunmetal. Oof! Ow!
Sorry about
that. I felt that.
Ah, screwed.
Let me see if I can catch up with everybody else behind you.
I've got 9% hole left.
Okay, it looks like Neon here with the glowing tires is coming in third.
I got 56% left, but I did a premium repair before.
Yes, so did I. Still lost.
Okay.
Oh, he spun out. Oh, no, fourth place is catching up. And everyone else
Just
is so
need to
far
get
behind, I
straight
can't
again.
see 'em.
Ah, come on.
He's gaining. He's gaining fast. Better get some speed. You still got a ways to go.
I can't see where I'm going because my FPS is so bad.
This swap places. What is this gold coming in?
That's flying spaghetti.
And
Oh, you might be overtaken by one that's flying
So-
over.
oh!
He's overtaken him.
he's not
flew
quite
over.
past me. He's not quite past me.
Yes, he is.
All right, flying spaghetti there in the gold.
No, I think Nagi was...
Nope. Somebody else. Yeah, somebody else came
Yeah, he,
right
he
in front of you.
flew over you.
Yeah, I missed that. I was watching that as you spun out right before you got to me. Oh, so yeah, we got Nagi in third, Spaghetti in fourth,
Theod is here.
and somebody.
Ow.
Two more are gonna cross in just a second. So you got purple and black.
Stata and Mugivi.
Yeah, it looks like a black one.
Purple running right underneath me for fifth place. Black. Oh nope. Oh yeah. Purple
Oh,
then
that
black.
was close.
Very close. And what is this? The
Mark Ousley.
white and brass is gonna. Come on. Oh, you can do it. There you go. All right.
Yeah, I finally got my SRV in. This is good. I'm not even in the race, so don't worry.
Sorry for my camera work on stream. Like I said, keyboard is not very smooth for camera. It's just on or off. There is no gradual movement to it.
But I saw everything I wanted to see.
That's great then. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that's really important.
But I think I have a 10-second delay. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually have a decent stream connection.
No, I think it's
But-
regular with Twitch.
It's usually 10. Sometimes it goes down to 30. But I mean, I've had streams before where it's like almost a minute delay, and it's just like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's a bit much.
All my friends got better a bit.
Well,
Oh, it was quite difficult.
Alright, ships are coming back in.
I don't think I will do any SRV races on distant worlds. It's just not bearable.
Not worth it.
My game is lagging so hard. It's so difficult to go straight. Even.
Well, and this is the other thing, because now you've traveled out basically 2 kilometers. The game has actually instanced an extra 5 kilometers surrounding us.
God, I got
So
9% hull.
9%. We might actually need to all, like even me, we might need to all basically get in our ships and then log out and log back in to totally re-instance it one more time. Because the game is gonna keep instancing rather than just. Because normally, even though you can see everything in the distance, what is actually your frame of reference in the game is about like a 1 kilometer around you. But because you've traveled out now, I've got a kilometer behind me, and then a kilometer on the other side beyond where you guys were, and it's all being influenced at the same time.
In theory, you're right. I mean, in practice, we could all might not get back in the same instance, and this is obviously a risk. So we could try it, but yeah, there's no guarantee that I think half of us will actually end up in the same place.
Just go to Super Cruise for a second, and or we could meet up in space and do mass jump.
Yeah, we could all take off now.
It's a bit early for that, really, isn't it? I think we should try and stay at least planetary for a while because we're only 27 minutes in at the moment. So we've got quite a while.
It's only been half an hour.
Well, I haven't gotten much sleep tonight, so I kind of want to go to bed early today. So.
Okay.
No worries.
Is anybody else? Because I don't have everybody on friends list, so I can't see everyone on the map. Is anybody else still coming in? Are we waiting on anybody?
I'm aware.
Yes. Hi.
Okay, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I got all of the instance.
Excellent. Right. If we get back in our ship, that will definitely improve the instancing. So let's see what happens when we do that. That's probably the first thing we should do, and then see how we go from there. But this is the thing about meetups. It's part of the instance management, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, we.
Hello.
It's still hard to get an instance with more than 20 ships in it at a time.
Oh yeah, more than 20 is not even worth trying, to be honest. No. I mean, I think the game really can't instance any more than that in its present configuration.
Yeah. Well, it's just sad because before the new planetary skins, like our first jump, we had like 36 people or something in one jump, and it was awesome. Yeah. But then since the new planet skins, it's like you get 12 to 15 people, and you're just like, good, let's call it good. This is our group. We're gonna do our one instance with 15 people.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, sub 20 is definitely okay, but space stability tends to be easier because you've just got less things to keep track of. Unless you're in an asteroid field, of course. But on a planetary basis, there's just so many more objects to keep track of, and that's always going to be more of a problem.
So we're coming back down to the surface then, or are we meeting in
yeah,
space?
if you can. I mean, it's best to sort of if you can get a good frame rate as you are once you've boarded your ship, then stay. If you can't, then try and come back in again.
Okay, Cenk, just activate wing beacon. And
and
I can come down again.
No, that's limpets. I don't need more of those.
And also, was there somebody who didn't have an SRV? If you want to join my ship, you can take out one of mine if you want.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Can you drive somebody else's SRV?
No,
No,
you
I don't
can't.
think so.
So
You can
I think
drive
you
their
can't.
SLF, but not an SRV.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, right, okay.
Funny that, isn't it? But you can't for whatever reason.
Okay, scrap that idea.
Well, you can't because basically.
I was just teasing.
You know, you can't because of the 2 kilometer limit on them. And with an SLF, it's 3 kilometers. The SLF
25.
just
30.
25 kilometers.
Okay,
25.
No, you get the warning at 25, I think.
Yeah. So they just self-destruct, so that works. But on an SRV, 2 kilometer rule, you know, your ship just takes off and leaves you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an SRV that somebody else is driving, the game doesn't know how to handle that because they're not the commander of the ship.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a shame that the game hasn't actually evolved to the point you can do both.
It is annoying because, you know, it would be nice to like have somebody sit in your ship and then 2 of you take an SRV out and then you leave the ship and then 2 of you drive together as long as you stay close enough to each other,
Yeah,
you know.
it would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It would be, you know, because I've done like I've had tons of fun like doing races or mountain climbing with people, but we have to use our own SRVs every time.
Absolutely. No, you're right. Mountain climbing is one of the most fun things of all, I think, in this game.
Yeah.
Especially when it goes wrong.
When it goes
Oh,
wrong
way
and you
back down.
tumble down like a whole kilometer of mountain that you just spent the last 10 minutes climbing.
Exactly. By the sound that most people here have had the same adventures in mountain climbing and falling off mountains as well.
Yeah.
That's the best part of coming down, though, is like if you can find like a little ramp or something up at the top, you just go as fast as you can and just try to see how far off you can fly.
I think one of the funniest ones, some of you may remember this, with Commander Frew, I think he might be on Mercury 7 expedition, where he had an infamous YouTube video where he basically rolled down the entire length of the mountain, and he was rolling for like 5 minutes, 5 minutes non-stop, and he repaired himself, what, about 50 times, something ludicrous during that fall? He actually survived as well, because he kept on repairing as he was rolling, he just couldn't stop rolling. So it's like, I watched this video thinking, dude, how did you not get motion sickness on? I assume you just must have stopped looking at the thing after a while. Just looked at the side panel and just, I don't know.
Yeah, you just
It's
sit there.
hilarious,
You look at your synthesis, and every time you drop to like below 40%, you're like repair,
Exactly.
and then you sit there, repair every
I'm sure the
time.
video's probably still out there somewhere, but it is absolutely hilarious. But I think everyone's done it to some degree. Maybe not quite 5 minutes of rolling down a mountain, but at least a good amount of it.
All right, I'm throwing a bunch of friend requests out to people. You don't have to accept. It's just
Yeah.
it does let me know for everybody in FleetCom.
Okay, who wanted repair limpets? I can't see.
I'm behind
repair
you.
limits, but I can repair if anybody needs it.
You will need to be launched.
I am
from,
in. I am up here. Up here. Up here.
Can't see ya. Okay, there you are. Let me just make sure I've got the right button.
97%. Oh, that's unacceptable. We need to fix that.
Incoming fuel.
Okay.
Incoming fuel.
No, it's fuel.
It's a habit of mine.
click the right mouse button instead of the left. I do that too because my limpets are just it's a setup. It's just fuel for one side, repair on one side, and just
Interesting question for
hope I
you
shoot the right
guys.
one.
Come on.
Obviously, everybody here has been on expeditions before, so you're a good bunch of people to ask about this. Is it also your observation that SRVs seem to have more problems with, lag, frames per second, just general problems, crashing, etc. in the game than fighters do for some reason?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? The fighter, you think, because of its speed and what have you, would actually be more demanding, but it seems to be less demanding on the system than SRVs are. But Actually, it's a good question. How many people do actually have fighters on board at the moment?
I do.
Yeah, me.
I have.
Game.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of that, and I'm wondering if this is what it could be. On an SRV, because it's rendering and calculating ground surface, that means it's also rendering and calculating all the little rocks and things that you bump into and run into. Doesn't SLF even crash into those? Because if it doesn't, it's not rendering them.
What's that? Come on.
Like,
Yeah, or
could anybody drive an SLF against the ground and see if a rock stops it?
I think I can try. Too close.
I don't think it actually
if an SLF just glides along the ground straight through a rock, it means it's not calculating all those collision
I try.
on all the rocks.
Let's see.
Probably the big rocks, I reckon. Probably not the small ones.
I mean, that's just a hypothesis of mine, I guess.
It's an interesting thought, actually. Yeah.
I can see some bigger rocks.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think actually that a fighter race might actually be a better use of time and effort at the moment, considering we've had so many problems with the SRVs. I mean, by the sounds of it, the actual race is actually okay. It's just after the racing started to sort of decline and got more problems, especially with the ships coming.
Just as Nagi knows, remember to have your ship following you, so you don't instantly fly 30 kilometers away and self-destruct.
Well, I have got 2 if people want to hop into my ship and pick up my 2 fighters.
Okay, lol.
Well, your pointy things are all around.
Yeah.
The store and not inside it.
Let's see. Oh, what? Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Oh, those are fireworks. Who is that?
That's me.
What is that? What is that weapon, by the way? Because
it's the flag cannon.
It's the
for the Fargon swarms.
Okay, so it's flat cannon, but it's set to detonate at a certain range. Is that just how it works?
No, you pull the trigger. Or you release the trigger.
Oh.
Where is it? I can't see.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Can you try to hit me with it?
I might try to pick one of those up.
No, my fighter, not my main ship. Stop turning.
You will get damage, I believe, won't you? Where are
Just
they?
fighter.
It's just a fighter. It's okay. Whoa. Oh, I need to get closer. Worry!
Trajectory disruption.
Trajectory disruption? Okay. Ui. Okay, this is interesting. Wow. Okay, but they almost do no damage at all. But they kick me around.
I am, yeah, the ones that actually go off next to you, I'm seeing you bounce a little bit. Oof, wow. Well, that was a...
Okay, now it does damage. 2 shields.
Oh, a dolphin. Who's that?
That's me.
Huh?
I don't know everybody's voices. Who was that again?
That's me.
That's Mac. Okay, Mac.
Yeah, actually, it's my alt.
Yeah. No, Dolphin's a pretty good little explorer as well. That's another sort of cheap end of the
I was
market
going to say, yeah,
explorer.
dolphins
they are.
cool. I mean, they're a little pricey because they are Saw Kruger, but they're still. I mean, we had one on the ECE who made the whole way. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my alt account's quite new.
Eleanor is a special character as well, so it takes.
My alt
Takes
account's
a
quite
special
new,
kind
so
of.
It took a bit of it was one of the first affordable ships that's got a decent jump range.
even on engineered, you can get it up to about 30 knots.
Yeah, they've just got the warning, Commander. Oh, somebody's activating system authority. Who's reporting us? Shame on you.
System huh? There's no
Tony, is your
authorities
wrist
here.
full?
What
We're
system
not even that
authorities?
near a system, though. That's the thing. You know, we're sort of quite a way out. I mean,
we're
not
still
like...
we're still at anarchy, so I don't think it'll actually report anything.
Yes.
But I haven't had that thing turned on in well over a year.
Tony?
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry.
Tony, do you have one fighter left?
I do. I will need to get back into my ship, I believe. So stand by. Let me just dock.
Oh, I do have a question, because I know it's still pretty bad on the Beluga, but have they done anything to fix the heat on the Dolphin? The Orca never really had problems with heat, but the Dolphin and the Beluga were terrible with it.
I only have problems with heat if I do a lot of very intense maneuvering and boosting. But other than that, it's perfect. I mean, like the trip out here, I could start jumps before finishing fuel scooping and things like that. It was alright.
the
Really.
Beluga. Last time I used the Beluga, which was maybe a month or two ago, it was fine actually. I mean, it was hotter than most ships, but it still wasn't a problem.
Oh, the Beluga. I bought that thing like right when it came out, and that thing overheated as a stock ship just turning on its frameshift drive. It was terrible.
The Type 7's the same as well.
They fixed that.
Who was asking for my fighter?
Fighting Falcon.
Yeah. They did eventually do some work on the Beluga, and it's a bit better. It still can't leave it still can't leave its own system usually as stock, which is really funny. It's like
I think it.
stock ship that has 4 light year jump range. It's like, good job, guys. Good job.
Okay, why are you not on my friends list? Maybe on this, not on this account.
I sent you a request.
Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah. Okay.
Right. I quite like the Beluga for a big ship. It's actually pretty maneuverable.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like, lots of ships are, quote, big, you know, crate, Type 7, Orca, and it's like, the Type 7 is literally a, quote, big ship because it's, like, 2 meters too tall. The Orca is a, quote, big ship because it's 3 meters too long, and it's like, you're talking about less than 10 feet, and it's so annoying. But you just can't land on an M pad. The crate is just wide, so, you know, they're all considered large ships, but like those 3 really bug me because they shouldn't be.
I thought the crate was a medium.
It is.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, geez, I'm not paying attention.
I think the Type 7, you're right with that, but I think that's actually slightly too big for a medium pad, as far as I remember.
Yeah, no, it's too tall, so it can't fit. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
if you go into a hangar, it would clip through the ceiling.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. The Python is about as big as you can get without still in a medium pad. The crate is well within a medium pad. I think that little bit smaller than the Python. But yeah, it works well.
But yeah, I mean, all the Saud-Kruger ships are really maneuverable. They're a lot of fun, but they're also made of paper, so.
I don't.
Yeah, the Beluga always gets stuck on the mail slot.
Yeah,
well, it's funny, isn't it?
The fins on that thing, like when you actually take off into flight mode.
You can kill someone with those quite easily. You know? This is just it, isn't it? You know, you can accidentally, get a huge fine. You can even get shot down by, the lasers inside the space station because you accidentally killed someone with those wings.
Once you get stuck, just reload the instance, and then you should spawn outside.
Yeah, I've
fine.
been stuck and lost 3 Belugas. I've been stuck more than 3 times, but basically every time after that, it's like instantly log out before I get in trouble. Instantly log out, and it'll spawn you like 2 kilometers outside the station.
Yeah.
It's cheating, yeah, but when the ship literally only has a couple of feet clearance,
I mean, it was quite fun for passenger runs for a time. I mean, I got quite a lot of money on my alternate account by doing
Oh.
beluga runs. When passenger, long distance passenger missions, not but within the system I'm talking about when you got like 1 million or so, sort of light seconds or something like that. I mean, those were
Oh.
pretty good
Yeah,
paying until recently, but then they chopped them.
Yeah, they keep nuking some passenger missions, but I mean the Beluga, you could basically still buy it and fit it, and then make that money back in a day or two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not as easy as through passenger missions, you can make quite a bit of money till quite recently. And these days, it's quite hard to make money unless you're going to go like 22,000 light years to Colonia or something like that. It's a bit annoying because there should logically be quite a good way of making money still, but it's harder than it used to be. I mean, I think most people have made the point that Frontier do seem to be a bit overzealous in actually getting rid of not gold rushes, but even just like things that should be well paying, and then they sort of cut them down.
Well,
It's like, well, why did you do that?
Like stacking, or just like what I would do is I'd get my Beluga and then just load it up with just luxury, and then just take the smallest groups I could get who wanted to go. They were like, I want to go visit this one point of interest, and they're all, they're like, you have 3 days to do this, and I'd take out 10 groups and just go to a whole bunch of interesting POIs. I'd get to see a lot of cool stuff, and then bring them all home and make 100 mil. Done.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good way of doing it. No, I like those ones where you could go all over the bubble, particularly if you say to certain interesting sites and what have you. Especially the planetary ones, because obviously just the tourist beacons in space. I mean, okay, it's a good way to make money, but they're a bit boring after like the first couple of times. Obviously, at least when you go down to like a nice planet or something, at least it's kind of a bit more interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah. Landing on there was one. It was an ice planet, but it still had like molten iron magma fumaroles as its POI, and it was just really bizarre and weird looking, but it was really cool.
Right.
So, I'm going to leave now.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Cenk,
no problem.
You
Have
are
a
in
good
charge
week.
of getting a good shot of a mass jump later.
Okay, will do. And I'm streaming, and I'll just pop this unedited onto YouTube later. So
Yeah, me too. Or maybe I cut out the race as an extra. So, see you next week.
yeah, if not sooner.
See ya.
Take care.
Goodbye.